hey, let me show you how stupid your fucking weight loss goal is, and afterwards what to do about it. You know I love you. If you're in Europe or somewhere that counts in fucking kilos, then you have this great idea that you want to be 50 kilos because that's a round number. It's an arbitrary number that doesn't make any sense as far as to how you're feeling. If you're in the States and you want to be 50 kilos, all of a sudden you're 110, then you realize, well, that's not an even number, so that doesn't make any sense. And if you're in the UK somewhere, you're going to be like 7.87 stone. It's like, well, that's not random. So no one in the UK cares about being 50 kilos because that's just this random fucking number that doesn't mean anything to them. So why does it matter to us then if we count in kilos? Equally, if you're 60 kilos, you're 132 pounds, or you're 9.45 stone. No one gives two shits about being 9.45 stone, but do you care about being 60 kilos? Maybe. So what is the goal? What is the thing that we're actually caring about in this round number? It just makes sense because we're in a fucking metric system, but it doesn't make any sense because the metric system doesn't give a fuck about how you're feeling about yourself. Equally then, potentially people want to be 10 stone in the UK. That's like a round number. I just want to get down to 10 stone. Then I'll feel fucking amazing or confident or fit into my size dress. Well, in the States, you'd be 140 pounds. Okay, does anyone have like this 140 pound goal? Probably not. In Europe or somewhere else, it'd be like 63.5 kilos. Who gives a fuck? No one. And maybe you want to be 150 pounds because that's like a round number in the States and that makes fucking sense. Well, you'll only be 68 kilos. Who gives a fuck about being 68 kilos? Or 10.71 stone. Have you ever heard anyone having that goal? So you see, you catch my drift, right? If you want to be 200 pounds, for example, that's a round number. I want to be 200 pounds. Okay. Have you ever heard anyone say, I want to be 90.7 kilos? Have you ever heard anyone wanting to be 14.29 stone? It's like, no. Right. Well, what if you want to get under 100? Like 100 is my magical number. I just want to get down under 100. I want to be 99. Okay. Well, you just be like 220 fucking pounds, 0.46. That's not a goal. Or you want to be 15.75 stone. No, never heard of it. So you see this arbitrary thing, depending on where you're born or where you live, doesn't make any sense to your fucking well-being. Unless you're in a fucking boxing match and you need to obviously qualify for that shit. But you know that that's not the shit I'm talking about. I'm talking about your wellness. So then on the note of talking about your wellness and your well-being, let's have a look at some different ways of ascertaining our goals. Maybe I'm looking for certain feelings. I want to feel confident instead. I want to feel fit. I want to feel strong. I want to feel fast. I want to feel lean. I want to feel powerful. I want to feel sexy. Are those good sort of feelings to focus on? They certainly could be. And with those feelings then, we can instead reverse engineer how we feel sexy, how we feel powerful, how we get to be lean. Regardless of what your weight is, you would agree with me that if you're a certain amount of pounds or kilos or fucking stone, you might feel powerful. And if you put on 5 kilos or a certain amount of stones or pounds, could you still feel powerful? Yes, potentially. Can you still feel lean being an extra 10% of whatever you are? Maybe not. Maybe that's not a lean feeling, right? So instead of looking at those random numbers which depend on your geographical position, why don't we look at how we want to feel, which will be consistent wherever we are in the world? Now, the other problem is if you look at outside things, maybe you're super driven by accolades or attention, or you want to fit into a certain dress size. Now, these things can be very important. I've got a bodybuilding background, so that's very important then to fit into someone's category and to impress the judges. So you need certain qualities to do those things, and depending on which federation, depending on which category you're in, you need to fit into certain criteria, right? The problem with that is that it wasn't super healthy. I didn't feel tremendously good. I looked amazing, but it came at a cost, right? So now I'm looking for accolades from other people, from judges, for example. I might also be wanting to just get attention. So that could be being fucking huge. That could be being super lean. It could be super small. It could be fucking tiny. So if we put a lot of emphasis on the outside influence to determine then how we feel, then that could be a dangerous thing as well, but sometimes certainly necessary. If you look and you want to fit into a certain dress, just buy a bigger dress. Like problem solved. Yeah, but I want to fit into this dress size. Yeah, but why? Point then is then they change the dress sizes, so medium is no longer a medium, and you could actually be like a bigger person fitting into a medium. Are you going to feel better just because you fit into a medium? Maybe short term, but you know that if you just change that, before you were large and now you're medium, you know that the feeling of being unwell or being overweight or not seeing your fucking junk when you're in the shower because your gut's too big, maybe that's the problem and not the fucking outside sizes that someone determined that's a small, extra small, medium or large. From a health point of view, right, let's fuck everyone else's opinion about ourselves off, and let's focus on how I want to feel. Now, if you go from an inside feeling like this and you're true to that feeling, I think that's a wonderful start. The other thing is, if you do it with purpose, it's got a little bit more depth to it. So I figured out that I'm actually training for longevity. There's a lot of fitness influencers and coaches out there who are just pushing down this fucking thing like, you need to fucking train with a program, you need to get fucking results, and if you don't get results, you're plateauing. It's like, that's all well and good if you're doing competitions and you need to compete against other people, and you need to be the fucking strongest or the best, or you want to get on the podium, 100%. But that's not longevity, right? And that is not important for me. I know there's always going to be motherfuckers who are stronger than me, lifting heavier than me, jumping higher, running faster, crawling more. Do you know what I mean? That I am not interested in that competition sense for me and my training. So I'm also not interested then in continuously fucking progressing and getting stronger, lifting heavier. I am interested in longevity. Personally, for me, longevity is key. What's the point of me lifting heavy now? I'm 42, and then if I fuck myself up at 45, 50, 55, like what's the point? No one gives a fuck what I'm lifting at 42. And someone's probably always going to be lifting heavier or doing more. So when it comes down to longevity and my purpose, longevity is more important. If I can lift and train when I'm 80, then I'm winning. Like, that's the game. To keep training is the game. Consistency is the game for me. That gives me more purpose in my training. And it means that I can fuck myself up less. And you know that I love fucking shit up. Like, I love pushing it. I love, ice baths and saunas and doing and big hikes and blah, blah. So I'm not against doing the hard work at all. But if I go at it with longevity, I'm more likely to not get injured. I'm more likely to feel better throughout the whole journey. And for me, that's the game, to fucking enjoy life by doing hard things that are necessary, not just to enjoy life and do the shit that I do enjoy. So then I look at, like, I want to feel well. Like, I want to have balance in my life. And I know that a lot of people's like, oh, fuck balance. It's like, but that's cool. But if that works for you, then that's wonderful. But I see a lot of unbalanced people who are really strong in one area of their life and then really failing in other areas of their life. And so what's the point to have a ripper body, but you keep fucking up your relationships? What's the point of having a great relationship and a great family life, but your own health is suffering and you're fat and overweight because you're putting everyone else first because you want to be there for everyone, but not yourself? And this is where it comes down to, like, a lot of parents will be like, oh, I'll do anything for my kids. How about taking care of yourself so you can be there for your kids, for example, instead of fucking yourself up and do everything for their kids? So balance is important to me. I want to feel energized. I want to have focus. I want to have health. I want to have longevity, and I want to feel that I can do these sort of things. I would love to do these videos and to coach for a long time. And if my brain is not there, then what's the point? So for me, these things have got much more purpose to me in my journey. And so what I need to do then, how do I reverse engineer having longevity, having wellness, having balance, having energy, having focus, and having health? How do I reverse engineer each and one of these steps? Because I'm not interested necessarily in attention. I can do a ripper body and take fucking steroids and get attention, but then what? Am I healthy? Have I got balance? Am I in wellness? Or am I just putting undue stress on my body? We know that there's a lot of strong people who can also be very overweight and in fact be unhealthy. So, like, what's the cost of the thing that I'm looking for? Am I ready for that cost? And is that truly how I feel? Would I sacrifice my wellness and my balance and my longevity to just be strong? Personally, I wouldn't. So for me, this is a much more healthy way of looking at your goals and then reverse engineering that desired feeling. I do want to feel confident. I do want to feel fit, strong. I do want to feel fast. I want to feel lean. I want to feel powerful. And I want to feel sexy. And a bunch of other different feelings. So what I've done is I've reverse engineered those feelings. I've fucked off all of these outside things and beliefs of what I should be or could be, and instead just focusing on what I can be and what I can create with myself. If you like this video, if you need some help with goal setting, this is for you. I made this for you. Please share with someone who needs this.